more informal image captured Vice President-elect Harris's authentic, approachable nature, which we feel is one of the hallmarks of the Biden-Harris administration. Adding, we're celebrating both images of her as covers digitally. For Harris's niece, the focus should be on her aunt's message, not the controversial cover.
I think again, it's a big moment, and I'm glad that Tyler captured images in that blue suit that I think are deserving of that of this extraordinary moment.
Mm-hmm. And Vogue editor-in-chief Anna Wintour is also speaking out, telling the New York Times' Kara Swisher, obviously we heard and understood the reaction to the print cover. And I just want to reiterate that it was absolutely not our intention to in any way diminish the importance of the vice president-elect's incredible victory.
Well, it certainly touched a nerve, for sure.
What went through your mind as you watched those images unfold?
I just simply couldn't believe it. You know, my son was home from college. He's studying political science and international relations. We were glued to the TV. I could not believe that was our capital in the United States.
And you've seen now that some of these big tech companies like Twitter, Instagram, Facebook have banned the president. Do you agree with that call?
I do agree with that. And I think, we need to reckon with the fact that this president incited this mob. That is not us as an American people. That is not us as a democracy. A protest is one thing, a mob is a different thing.
Unfortunately, a lot of what we saw was an outgrowth of conspiracy theories. This is something, unfortunately, that you and your husband have had to deal with over the years. How concerned are you about disinformation and just the eroding of truth?
I think we need to have truth and facts to have a good, sound democracy. And that's why I think there is time now for regulations that need to happen around these social media platforms.
Let's talk about the pandemic. The good news is there's a vaccine. The bad news is it's not getting into people's arms fast enough. What do you think the holdup is?
Well, distribution of a vaccine is never an easy thing, but it takes planning. The CDC needs to be front and center with guidelines, with health authorities in every state. That's what they're set up to do, and with a federal plan.
Where do you think the breakdown is?
So when you have a national emergency, it's the federal government's responsibility to make sure that there's good coordination across all 50 states. The federal government needs to step up and have a coordinated response, just like they should have had for testing. That can be done, and you will start to see lots more vaccine getting out there and for people to be able to take it.
Are you concerned that people are still hesitant about getting the vaccine?
Well, what we're already starting to see is that people's minds are starting to change. In fact, vaccine hesitancy has gone down. You'll always see some people who say they want to wait. That's normal in vaccine distribution. So you're going to see some of that. But more what we're seeing is Americans saying, when can I get my...
Your book, The Moment of Lift, came out 2 years ago. You wrote about gender inequalities worldwide. And that was before the pandemic.
When I wrote the book in 2019, we were on an accelerated path for women gaining gender equality in the world. So much of that has been set back because of this pandemic. Even, let's talk about the United States. Of all the job losses, all of them in December, those were women.
How do you explain that?
How you explain that is you look in our homes and we see what's going on. Women are telling you this unpaid work, the caring for the children, caring for the elderly, that is falling on women.
Do you worry about women who have jobs or left the workforce during this pandemic, just not being able to get back in?
Yes. Yes, I think the delay for women getting back into the labor force will be long and hard unless we get good policy making happening on the Hill. If you do not have a good maternity or family leave policy, women will leave the workforce permanently.
You've said you'd like the president-elect, Joe Biden, to appoint a caregiving czar. Is that a job you would like?
No, that's not a job I would like. I like my current job at the foundation.
When I think about caregiving, it's something that women do, but it's also, so many of us feel it's who we are. If we don't do it, who is going to do it? And should anyone else do it? How do you combat that?
This unpaid labor we do at home is absolutely childcare, and it's loving things we want. To do as a mom, but there's also a lot of tasks, making sure the homework gets done, making sure the laundry gets done, the lunchbox gets filled. That can be shared much more equally with another person in the home, quite often the husband.
You got a lot of headlines when you talked about your own home and were little, and